Everybody's great when they're not tired. Champions, when they're tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when the real dog come out. You go piss like a puppy, stay on the court. Let the big dog be. They motherfucking will.
Look where we reach again. End up in a party in the streets again. Even though I have opportunities, a thousand down. I wanna tell more. Look where we reach, you know. Why we bring it sun up to the beach, you know. Just let the relationship breathe. It's your man, it's not my girl. Until the beat so.
is why this is the best event in the world, the Torium Pro Day 2 competition. And how about that? Jeremy Austin, Pip Malone, Caleb Banfield with you. Pip, I've not seen anything so good here at Pat Rafter Arena.
I'm speechless. Outstanding.
So good. But if you're viewing from right around the world, this is what it's all about. Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific Islands all coming together, and we have such a great community.
And every single person in the stands right now has a smile on their face after that.
I can't get the smile off mine. And thank you and welcome back to Pat Rafter Arena, the 2023 Noble CrossFit Games semi-finals and the Oceania semi-final presented by TWL. And what a day we've had. We need to repeat that tomorrow.
Oh, more of that. That was outstanding.
Massive crowd in here as well, and we are painting the pro pink. And small steps for Hannah, the charity that we're looking after today. They look after so many people. And the crowd absolutely buzzing after that, and I cannot wait. Team competition done for the day. We're about to get into Heat 1 for the men, but before we do that, let's look at the standings after 3 tests. And the Prince of the Pacific, Jay Crouch, not winning a test so far. But we see him at the top of the leaderboard. 276 points, 40-point gap back to Jake Douglas. Will Carney in 3rd, Bailey Martin in 4th, and Riley Smith with a great day and a half in 5th position. And our wonderful volunteers and judges hitting the floor. And it is very hard, Pip, to replicate this atmosphere anywhere in the world. It's just amazing.
Well, I think we hear it time and time again from not only the athletes, volunteers, and us, but it really is the best event going right now.
And speaking to one of our commentators from last week, Chase Ingram, and he said he's so jealous of what we've got down here, and we've got fire.
We have fire.
Heat 1 for the men hitting the floor now. And it is the start, but it is test number 4, a 2-parter. We'll get to test number 5 a little bit later, but this one is going to be short, sharp, and nasty.
Individual test 4, 800-meter run and a max snatch weight in the time remaining. The time cap is 6 minutes. And we have some heavy hitters already in Heat 1.
Athletes preparing. As you mentioned, Pip, we've got a bit of a run to get through first as we look at our heat list for heat number 1 before we get to our heavy barbell. And unfortunately, John Champion withdrawing from competition, and that is a shame. But we look forward to seeing him back again on the competition floor next year. Jaden as a party. Lane number 2, Nico Tarangi Curtis, lane 4. I think he's going to enjoy the second part of this one with the heavy barbell. Luke Fowler. Different competition to last year, coming from team competition and at the CrossFit Games. As we await the start of the 4th test for the individuals for the weekend. 200 points still up for grabs in the next couple of hours. Harry Cavalli. Harry with a 13th in test number 3. Jaden as a party. Bit of a battle with the dumbbells in the previous test. He'll look for some redemption in the next 14 minutes. are underway. First part of test number 4, day 2 of the Touring Pro. And the 800 metres on the Assault Air Runner. We normally talk about getting a good quality run done, but we need some recipes for success, and RP Strength have got them for you.
Our recipes for success: watch your clock and get a good lift on the board. And when we're talking about watching your clock, they've got a 6-minute cap. And they're not going to want to go too full out on this 800-meter run, because the score for this test is max weight lifted. So they're going to want to give themselves a chance to lift the heaviest they can. But they also need to bear in mind that you need some time to do that.
Minute down. Got Tarangi Curtis. One of our newcomers to the Touring Pro for 2023. And one of our young athletes as well, finishing 6th at the CrossFit Games in 2019 in the 14-15 division, and 3rd in the 16-17 division in 2021. Harry Cavalier and a Team Taurus, coached by Michael Gillam, one of the great coaches in New Zealand. Coach of Bailey Rogers, who's not here either this weekend, unfortunately. Hope to see Bailey back on the floor next year. And expectant dad, Jaden Azapati. Very happy to be here this weekend. Credits his dad to getting him here today. Dad's in the crowd. Very vocal early on. The buzz of the crowd now at Rafter. That Polynesian dance, that was just outstanding.
You won't see that anywhere else in the world.
Oh, great to represent many nations that make up the Oceania region. Ticking over 550 metres. Harry Cavalier's display. Athletes will move straight to the barbells, and in the remaining time to 6 minutes, will try and lift as much weight as they can. Tarangi Curtis not too far away. And our weights to beat: Pip Malone, 305 pounds, or 138 kilos from Jason Hopper from last week at the North American East semi-final in Orlando, Florida. 38 kilos is fairly hefty.
138 kilos after an 800-meter run is very hefty.
Time on the run, not that important unless you are under pressure to get more lifts in the bag. Now, Pip, we're going to a test like this. How many are you looking at, 2 or 3?
You'd be wanting to get a good lift on the board, just like that. So you get a number and you've got one in that time cap, because the score is your weight. And if you don't get a good lift in, then you get a 0. So you'd be wanting to get a weight up over your head that you know you can do, but that's going to be fairly competitive. These athletes would have warmed up out the back to a decent weight so that when they come off that run, they had pre-planned idea of what they were going to lift.
Less than 90 seconds now for these athletes. Probably 2 lifts left. Jaden Azapati, that previous lift looked very good. He's got a great overhead position, great mobility. Get another look at it now for his second lift. 275 pound. Oh, smooth, nice.
He's so fast with his elbows and his turnover, getting into that beautiful overhead position. He's got no problem at all with lockout. You can see his elbows are dead straight.
From Hiko, and he's pumped. .265, Jaden as a party. Cavalli. Jaden as a party getting successful lift to 65. Coming up 15 seconds. And he better get a move on. 10 more seconds. 265 for Luke Fowler as well. Oh, Jaden, milliseconds to spare. As we rock into a 2-minute break, athletes will head back starting position. Got some bad lifting very early on. Hiko Tarangi Curtis. Moving on now to test number 5. And a two-parter and completely different tests.
Individual test 5, 8 snatches at 185 pounds for the men, straight into an 800-meter run. They've got a 6-minute cap, or 800-meter sprint, if you will.
Talk about time caps, another 6-minute time cap coming up. Jeffrey Adler last week needed half of that. Expect to see some super fast times. Cycling that barbell is going to be paramount.
And now we just saw with the max weight, they were squat snatching. We're not going to see that this time. We'll see these guys power snatching. They won't be dropping into that full squat. At 84 kilos, that's still a fair bit of weight to move.
You'd expect most of these gentlemen on the field play to be able to do that unbroken. But obviously it will come down to that cycle rate and how quickly they can get it done. Underway, and things going to ramp up very quickly. As I mentioned, keep your eyes on that clock. 3 minutes is our target, our test record. Harry Cavalli having a break. No rep. Hiko Tarangi Curtis. Then has a party looking good. He needs to get on the assault air runner and start sending it. Recipes for success thanks to RP Strength.
Smooth and fast snatches, which we just saw as a party do, and sprint, 800 meters. As a party, overhead, wow, fast elbows. And this is where the sprint comes into it, because all these guys were fairly even onto the assault runner within seconds of each other. It's going to come down to the sprint.
It's probably going to be hard not to get a little bit excited. You've just smashed out 8 reps really quickly and you go, oh, I've got to get to the finish line. But you've got 800 meters to deal with.
And when you're talking about 800 meters, you never want to hear it in the same sentence as sprint, or for me personally.
There's very few individuals and they're a special breed. So 90 seconds in. Jeffrey Adler, he's over halfway already on the run. If someone's able to take that test record off Jeffrey Adler this evening here, Torian Pro, I will be very impressed.
What I love about this test and how it was written is that you have to be both proficient in heavy barbell, technical barbell too, a snatch, but you also have to be able to run and sustain it for 800 meters.
You can see the tape lines, Harry Cavalier on the right, Hiko Tarangi Curtis on the left. You can see how quickly the tape lines are going around.
Yeah, those tape lines on the belt, that's how quickly they are turning it over. You can get a bit of an idea of who's running faster by how quickly that tape's passing under their feet.
Jaden has a party, hand in the air, and he is starting to rock. Jeffrey Adler's time has gone. Hiko Tarangi Curtis, hand in the air. Oh, this is getting tough. All four hands in the air. It's going to be Jaden Azzopardi off first in lane 2, bottom of screen. No! Hiko Tarangi Curtis! Hello, sir! Welcome to the party! With a baseball slide, may have just gotten Jaden Azzopardi and Luke Fowler. He's done to finish off heat number 1, test 4 and 5. Wow, that's what's in store. I'm excited. Hiko Tarangi Curtis. Oh, amazing performance.
He just got on that runner and hammered it.
That is why he has been to the CrossFit Games twice as a teenager.
Azzopardi, arguably the most beautiful snatches on the floor just then in heat 1. But Azzopardi, the snatches, they were nice, but by the time he got to the end there, it really came down to the runner. 275 pounds for test 4, just on the buzzer, and then into test 5. Azzopardi was first off the barbell, first onto the runner.
And you've got to think, his hand, the judge's hand was in the air first. Just may have run out a little bit of a steam at the back end because Hiko Tarangi Curtis. Oh. And absolutely pumped to get a heat win here, test 5. Harry Cavalier slides in. Hiko Tarangi Curtis, 3:42. That will kick things off. Look how tight it was. Jaden Azzopardi just getting ahead of Harry Cavalier. Yes, we do call him Harrison as well. And Luke Fowler under 4 minutes. Athletes not needing the extra 2 minutes, but we just see how hard it is to get that test record that Jeff Adler got last week in the North American East semi-final. Test 4 and 5, 2 completely separate tests. And 200 points up for grabs in a 14-minute time frame. I'm not sure if the athletes have thought, I'm sure they've thought about it, but I've thought long and hard about the middle section of the Torian Pro and where there is 300 points up for grabs. And if you're proficient enough on 4 and 5, you are going to do very well. You win both of these as a proficient weightlifter. 200 points going into day 3 of competition. That's got to be beneficial if your sights are set on the games.
Oh, for those bubble athletes, it would be super beneficial. But that's what I love about the programming of test 4 and 5. It's like, yeah, you can lift a heavy barbell, but you have to run for it.
I'll tell you what, spirits are very high here at Pat Rafter Arena. A little bit quiet yesterday. I'll tell you what, things have ramped right up today. And not too long before we get a full house here. So dance cam is not on, just to let you know. They're just really happy to be here. And there's the Hikotarangi Curtis cheer squad. And cheer they did. Great community down here at the Torium Pro. CrossFit Dubbo represents. Oh, wow. You know when you had no words before? I've got none now.
I'm lost for words. Unreal.
And if you're tuning in from around the world somewhere, look up CrossFit Dubbo. They've actually got a great zoo out at CrossFit Dubbo. And let the dancing continue as heat number 2 comes onto the floor. Individual test number 4.
Individual test 4, 800-meter run, max snatch weight in time remaining. They've got a 6-minute time cap.
Athletes loading their bars in readiness. One guy who is going to shift some weight is that man just there, Isaac Newman, lane number 2. 2 guys, keep your eyes on Isaac Newman, lane 2. Darcy Hancock in lane 4. Actually, I'm going to add another one to the list. Benny Newland, lane 7. All 3 can lift a lot. There's rumours flying around Victorian Pro. Darcy Hancock could, in fact, lift 140 kilos. We're talking 308. Should be 3 pounds more than Jason Hopper last week and would be an exceptional lift if he can do it. It's funny. When you're in an athletic career, you're looking for that place to absolute shine and show exactly what you can do. Athletes like Isaac Newman, Darcy Hancock, and Benny Newland, this is the stage right now.
Yeah, that's right. Look, everyone loves a max lift at a CrossFit event, especially a snatch, because it is so impressive to watch when it is done well. And we have so many good lifters down here in the Oceania semi-final.
George Regas. So unassuming. Darcy Hancock next in. James Thomas as well. James Thomas sitting in 12th. Get underway for first portion of test number 4. 2 parts to this test, 2 parts to the next. We're going to wrap it all up in 14 minutes. Our recipes for success, thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board.
All right, I'm going to retract my previous statement. There's not 3 big lifters in here. There's 4, because Johan Roberts is sitting there as well. Johan Roberts, a very good lifter. good battle. Now, probably the benefit for Benny Newland. Benny's second in from the far right, Reece Machel at the top. Benny can have a look down the floor and see exactly what everyone else is lifting. If you're the athlete in the front like Johan Roberts, you've got no idea. Even though you want to stay in your own lane, it's important to know what other people are lifting, because if you go a couple of pounds, couple of kilos more than someone, you're going to obviously get the jump on them.
That's right. A lot of these athletes would have a plan in place, but you know what? When you're out on the competition floor and we're talking about places being points, if the guy in front of you's just put an extra pound on the bar, then why not? It could pay off in points on the leaderboard.
Jack Clark and Benny Newland, both CrossFit underway, and lift often together. Going tit for tat with weight. Must be good to challenge someone of a similar ability as well.
Bit of healthy competition.
Oh, gotta love it. Down. 3.5 minutes left on our clock for test 4 before we have a 2-minute transition into test 5.
Now for those watching at home, their time on the runner doesn't count towards their score, but they do need to watch the clock and make sure they have enough time to lift a good amount of weight. If they go too slow on that runner, they might not leave themselves enough time, and if that first lift's a fail, you need time to be able to...
compose yourself big time.
That's right.
But as you mentioned in Heat 1, you've got to make sure you hit a lift that you know you can hit, regardless of how tired you are, to get a score on the board.
They'd all have about like an 85% to 90% that they know they'd be able to hit with a high heart rate. How close they can get to that 100% is going to change each athlete.
Two minutes on our clock. Johan Roberts taking a lot of time. Oh, here we go. Darcy Hancock, 275 already. Johan Roberts. Benny Newland with 275. I see you, Darcy Hancock. And I'm going to go the same. Keep in mind, Oceania region, we're used to lifting in kilos, not pounds. The athletes need to know exactly the conversion rate and what the plates look like. 295, Darcy Hancock, with lots of time left. Benny Newland taking plenty of time with this one. Reece Machel in the back with 230. Oh, Benny, bit of a stumble forward, but an easy lift for him. Oh, 295, Darcy Hancock.
So much speed under that bar.
Are we going to see the record fall? .305 is the target. Does he want the record? Or does he want points up the leaderboard? 305, he's 3 pounds away from Jason Hopper's total from last week. Newland with 300. Machel's going to move. He's done 245. He wants some more. 285. Johan Roberts. Darcy Hancock for 305. Yes, sir. Was that a power snatch? Was that a power snatch at 3:05?
It was close.
138 kilo power snatch. Are you joking me? We knew it was going to be good.
He just got better each lift. That adrenaline
Wow.
kicking in at the right time.
As we now move into test number 5, we can catch our breath for 2 minutes. And this one, a whole lot different.
Individual test 5, 8 snatches at 185 pounds for the men. That's 84 kilos. Straight into an 800-meter run. They've got a 6-minute time cap. Now, run's a loosely thrown around term. It's more of a sprint to the finish. And if you've ever had to sprint 800 meters, then you know how much this is going to hurt.
Now, I've just got clarification that Darcy Hancock has indeed equaled Jason Hopper's test record from last week. Amazing.
And we're only in heat 2 of our men.
No. Darcy Hancock making a splash. Now, can he back it up? Darcy currently sitting in 18th.
Just to note for our viewers at home, the weight on the bar has changed. They're all going to be lifting 84 kilos, and they won't be squat snatching like we just saw. They will be power snatching.
185 pounds as well for those joining us from overseas. Underway for test 5, 8 snatch, 185 pounds, 84 kilos. 3 minutes, the test record. Jeff Adler, North American East semi-final last week. Jack Clark, very quick to move. And Jack's in a hurry. Second from the top. And our recipe for success, thanks to RP Strength.
Smooth and fast snatches and sprint. And I think it's important to note that we just saw these men do a max weight snatch. Some athletes are better at cycling a heavy barbell than they are doing a 1-rep max. So we might see a difference in the winners of test 4 as we would to test 5, because not only that, they have to sprint 800 meters.
Sounds wonderful. James Thomas looking very good center of screen next to Darcy Hancock. Reece Machel to the right, Benny Newland, good weights for him. Jack Clark. Bottom of screen, we can see Isaac Newman really striding out. And that tape line moving super quick. Now, don't be surprised to see Isaac Newman first off this assault runner.
Not only does he have that long stride, but that tape is moving very fast. A good indicator of how much faster he's moving than the other guys. You can see some look like they are running really fast, but their tape just not passing as quickly under their feet.
Newman almost at a sprint. 40 seconds to beat Jeff Adler's time of 3 minutes flat. You can feel the electricity here in the air. The buzz is real. Let's hope it's coming through the broadcast. Oh, Newman, he's got a chance. Seconds for Isaac Newman to get down the floor. Oh, he's gone close. Just not close enough. Isaac Newman, 304. Wow. Yeah, he knows it. Darcy Hancock backs it up. What an incredible job from Darcy Hancock.
He can snatch and he can run.
Normally you're weighted one way or the other. Reece Mitchell is in. Johan Roberts. What a first couple of days of competition for him. Jack Clark is done. Benny Newland, the last to finish. Isaac Newman, I knew he was running fast. Jeff Adler-esque, if you're going to go in the same sentence as Jeff Adler, you're doing well. But what a sprint.
Really hard. 18 test 4.5 done with individual men.
Newman. Test 5. The males went through test 4 and 5 back to back. Darcy Hancock and the 18-year-old Johan Roberts. Some really impressive lifting from our Heat 2 males. Darcy Hancock, 295 and then 305. The 305 was better than the 295. Then into test number 5. It was this guy's for the taking. Newman, he got on that assault runner and he did not slow down. Just shy of the event record. Official semi-final test 5 results. For heat number 2, 305 for Isaac Newman. Darcy Hancock, 315 and a really important finish for him. Backing up that 305 max weight snatch from test 4. James Thomas, 321, rounding out the top 3. We'll be back with you shortly for heat number 3 of the men.
It is a dance party here. It is very hard to replicate this around the world. We're just awesome. We're just going to put it out there.
Just going to toot our own horn.
Oh, again, I have no words, but I'm loving every second of it. Why can't we do this every weekend?
It's a party down here in the Southern Hemisphere.
Welcome to the floor, heat number 3. 200 points up for grabs. And moving day, day 2 of the Torian Pro. An individual test, number 4.
800-meter run, max snatch weight in the time remaining. They've got a 6-minute time cap. And 305 from our last heat.
Darcy Hancock.
That's a big lift.
Massive as we look at the heat list for heat number 3. Mitchell Case won't be shy with his weight either, nor will Bailey O'Brien. Interested to see what is going to happen in mid-pack with the likes of Riley Martin, James Newbury and Luke McMahon. And James Newbury on screen. We go back 10 years to Wollongong Regionals, and standing alongside him is Luke McMahon. Athletes getting their first load lifted.
See the athletes' starting weights. Saw a 245 starting weight down there.
Matty Gilpin. He doesn't look like he's having a good time, but he is. Said he had a great day yesterday when I ran into him this morning.
And Matty Gilpin can run.
Yes, he can. Then again, so can James Newbury. So you've got endurance athletes that are looking forward to sprinting. Probably not their jam, but they can do it.
Well, we're not talking about a 100-meter sprint, Jeremy. It's an 800-meter sprint.
Exactly. And test number 4 gets underway for our third heat of individual men's competition. An enthralling day 2 here at the Torium Pro, and it's not finished yet. Recipe for success thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board. Test 4 is all about the max weight on the bar. You do not want to get a donut, that's a 0.
Stop talking about donuts. The very casual first 800 metres. If you look across, James probably looks the most comfortable. Well, Matty Gilpin's in there as well with comfortable factor. But James very well balanced as a runner in the centre of the field with the hat on backwards. And if you're going to be running distances like he does with the Ironman triathlons of 26 miles or 42 kilometres, you're going to have to make sure your running style is top-notch because of efficiency and nothing else.
James just looks so comfortable running. It's almost a majestic trot.
I like that, trot. I don't think trot and 800 metres go in the same sentence, but that's okay. The second lot of numbers up from the bottom. They're currently at about that 400-metre mark. That is Mitchell Case in lane 1. And just a reminder, 6-minute cap here. Athletes will get through the 800-metre run and go and lift as heavy as they can in the time remaining.
Hey Pip, I've got a question for you. I saw in Heat 1 some of the men changing their shoes. Between Test 4 and Test 5, they went from lifters to runners. Obviously, you've got to weigh up, you know, what you want to do for each of these tests. If you were an athlete competing, would you be wearing your lifters or would you be wearing your runners, or would you go between both pairs of shoes?
I would ditch the lifters because they're not preferable to run in. Especially on an assault runner, you'll end up on your face, I'd say, with a heeled shoe. I would go for a shoe in the middle, probably a functional shoe that's a bit flatter so you can hit that bottom of the snatch with flat feet, but also run fast in it without being uncomfortable.
Riley O'Brien, Matty Gilpin, James Newbury now, your first 3. Mitchell Case joining them in lane 1, bottom of screen. You flagged Matty Gilpin early on, Pip. And 3:30 on the knocker. Bailey O'Brien heading back, ditching the shirt. touch over 2 minutes. It's not just getting to the bar, it's been able to put a lift up, but it's been able to put a lift up that's competitive.
That's right, getting a lift up under that high heart rate, getting some of the jitters out.
Riley Martin, 245. Samble at 245. Just telling him which way to face. Daunting if you're on the crowd, on the competition floor for the first time with the crowd in your face and you're trying to lift, or you're trying to pick a point of where to focus on to get your lift. Is that something you focused on as a weight lift up? Focusing on a position on the floor, on the platform, enable you to get that lift?
Focusing on something just out in front of your gaze that's not moving, just to help with that balance.
Riley Martin, yes, 265.
45. Andrew Sandel attempting 245 as his robot.
Mitchell Case, 270 coming up for him. We got less than a minute now. 265. Riley Martin. Make that 285. 130 kilos. 270 successful. Mitchell Case. Riley Martin. Sample unsuccessful in the background. That's all we will have time for. Successfully anyway. So Rob Watts, Luke McMahon successful in both of their lifts just before the buzzer.
That last lift from Riley Martin, wowzer.
So moving now to test number 5, a 2-minute break. We're going to reverse things a little bit and up the intensity.
Individual test 5, 8 snatches at 185 pounds for the men into an 800-meter run, 6-minute cap. It's fast and furious. 185 pounds, about 84 kilos.
Mitchell Case lifting well. He's sitting currently in 10th. Andrew Samble not successful with his last 2 lifts, so that may hurt him. Darcy Hancock is going to be bumped way up that leaderboard after heat number 2. Sitting in 18th and getting an equal test record with Jason Hopper from last week. Riley Martin lifting extremely well.
And what I love about this test 5 is that athletes that might not be the best at a 1-rep max but can cycle a barbell are rewarded, and we are going to see them cycle that barbell very fast.
And the race commences. Can't wait to see James Newbury get on this assault runner and start to send it. This is where he could make up an easy 100 points. Oh, and the cycle rate from James Newbury is exceptional in lane number 4. And Riley Martin, Mitchell Case, and now James Newbury get to the assault runner. This is where you've got to jack the heart rate and then bring it back down to get a little bit more comfortable and get into your rhythm.
And I saw James Newbury cop a sneaky no rep as well, which slowed him up a little bit.
Their recipes for success, thanks to RP strength.
Smooth and fast snatches and sprint.
Well, we just saw that. And most of those snatches, all 8, make that 9 for James Newbury. All very smooth. James, 10 years experience on the floor. He gets a no rep, no worries. Instead of touch and go 8, I'm going to go touch and go 9. It's not just a matter of cycling that barbell quick and getting to the assault runner. You need to run. One of your recipes to success is to sprint. 800 metres is an uncomfortable sprint distance.
Very uncomfortable.
Matt Gilpin striding out very well. Must be something in lane number 2. Isaac Newman doing exactly the same thing in the previous heat.
And Matty Gilpin is a perfect example of someone who isn't one of the heavy hitters on his max rep lifts, but he's fast on a barbell cycle and he can run fast.
3:05 our time to beat from Isaac Newman.
Look how fast the tape is moving under Matty Gilpin's feet.
James Newbury's is up there as well, and Luke McMahon is striding out very long to get that belt around as fast as possible. The judges' hands in the air will tell a story, and they'll be coming up soon. Newbury, he's up the ante. Lane 4, he is sending it now, James Newbury. Oh, wow. Look at the speed of the man. The crowd responding. James Newbury. Oh, here we go. Are we looking at another test record in the Oceania region? James Newbury. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Here we go, come on! There we go.
And with an extra snatch.
And an extra snatch as well. Bailey O'Brien's in, Matty Gilpin is in. And that's why we love you, James Newbury. Mitchell Case finishing up. Luke McMahon in. And I don't think he got Isaac Newman's time. I think it's a 3:05. It's a 3:06, in fact. So behind Isaac Newman, you take out that other snatch. He's currently in the lead. Riley Martin finished. And Samble, it hasn't been the test 4 and 5 that he wanted. Far out. That speed from James Newbury. He's like Roadrunner. The last 100 metres for Andrew Samble. We'll call him Smiley. He's having a good time. As is the crowd here at Pat Rafter. Wow. Saturday night, here we are. Oh, they're getting close to Jeff Adler's test record of 3 minutes, seconds away. But Andrews, Smiley's there, but we'll head down to Kayla Banfield.
Thanks, Jeremy and James. Incredible job. You on that last run, you picked it up a couple of gears. What was going through your head and how did you hang on to that?
Well, honestly, I could hear a couple of cheers from the crowd, and every time I heard, "Go James," I was like, oh, I better go harder. So I owe that one just as much to the crowd as I do my legs.
You heard it here first, guys. You've got to be loud for these athletes. Keeps them going. Now, James, we know you've got lots of other things on your plate. Business is taking up most of your time. What keeps you coming back to competing?
Honestly, I just love getting on the floor and throwing down with a bunch of buddies that I get to see once a year, and you get to come in front of the crowd. These guys put on such a good show. It's just mega fun, and that's actually a PB snatch on competition floor, so I can't complain.
Semi-retired in PB snatch. How about that? Was that the plan?
It was the plan, yeah, it was the plan. But yeah, I'm stoked and I'm just happy to be here.
Well done, James. Great to have you back and good luck for day 3 of competition.
Thank you.
James Newbury, what a legend.
Absolute legend.
We saw some heavy lifts early, and really Riley Martin set the standard.
Oh, Riley Martin. Just the speed under that bar. Super impressive. But it was test 5 that was the crowd pleaser here. And James Newbury just popping a no rep in there. He had to do an extra snatch. But when he drops the hammer, oh my God.
Crazy. And the hardest part is actually running to the finish line. And that's the stuff you want to bottle and take home. And James Newbury, 3:06.19. 6 seconds away of Jeff Adler's test record. But still, that will put him into second position. And we got one more heat to come. Rob Watt doing very well in 3:09. Great result from him, and Bailey O'Brien 3:13. As we welcome to the floor, the 4th and final heats. Test 4 and 5 are upon us. And are we going to see some more amazing weights shifted? If you're sitting out the back corralling and you hear that noise, wow, it's got to pump you up. Individual test number 4, first off the cab rank.
800-meter run, max snatch weight in time remaining. 6-minute time cap. We've seen some big lifts already in our previous heats.
And the run times are fairly comparable with everywhere else in the world, and it's about 3.5 minutes for an 800-meter run. To give themselves 2.5 minutes to possibly get 3, maybe 4 lifts if they can.
That's right. Test 4 is all about how much weight you're shifting.
Our heat lists for our 4th and final heat for the individual men for day 2 of competition at the Torian Pro. Jake Douglas, look out. Bailey Martin will be there joining him, so those 2 lanes in particular, 6 and 7, are going to be the ones to really look out for. Jake Crouch is no slouch either. And I love it when they're setting their weights up early, and you can see exactly what we're going to go start out with, and 2:45 for Bailey Martin. Just to make sure he can get that in the bag.
Getting a lift on the board, making sure you don't get a 0 on this test. And it needs to be a decent lift too in case you miss your next lifts.
250. Wow. And this is where Bailey Martin is going to shine. He loves getting under a heavy barbell. He's going to start off with about 113 kilos. Not far away from our start. Jake Douglas in 7. Bailey Martin in 6. Underway for test number 4. Now, interesting coming into this of how they attack the run and how to succeed fully in test 4. And for those, recipes for success thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board.
Watching the clock, very important. I don't watch a clock myself, I watch a sundial. But you've got to know exactly where you are in the test at every stage. And take $10 off your first order. Use the discount code Torian10 T's and C's apply. Just scan the QR code on your screen. Athletes running to the assault air runner to get the 800-meter start. So it's almost an 830-meter run.
We haven't seen any athletes hammer this first 800-meter run. They're all just sitting at a steady pace to give themselves enough time to get off, compose themselves before that first lift.
Will Carney, second athlete from the left. Pete Ellis is on the far left. Will Carney currently sitting in third. Currently only 6 points back from Jake Douglas in second. With an 8th, a 9th and a 4th. Very respectable results coming in. That's our second place qualifier after quarterfinals. This is where the business is going to happen in the next 15 minutes. Jake Douglas on the right, Whaley Martin on the left. And they both, you look at both of their frames and they both have a similar max snatch.
That's what I love about the weightlifting element in CrossFit. I obviously love weightlifting, but I love the weightlifting element in CrossFit. So you see so many different variances in size and body weight and what the human body is able to do at those different sizes. You're going to see some small people lifting some really big weight. And some big people lifting some extra big weight.
Bailey Martin, a former junior long jumper. Not that that's going to help him much here.
But the explosiveness that comes from long jumping translates to weightlifting.
Pete Ellis, Zach Thomas, Riley Smith, your first three. Jay Crouch, the fourth. Zach with a great day one. Your leader. Overnights coming in, Will Carney. Strolling back. Carney going back to his days training at CrossFit Gladstone. Shane Atia. He'll be the first to lift the bar. Conservative 225, making sure you nail one, get a score on the board. Riley Smith with 255, and that's a fail. And that messes with your head a little.
Yeah, it does. You have to make sure you don't let that panic set in.
Better that time.
He's fine, he's fine.
Maybe a few nerves. Less than 2 minutes. Still chasing. 305. Darcy Hancock. Jason Hopper. 138 kilos. Jake Douglas at the back, far right of screen. Successful with that one. Whaley Martin comfortable with his. Oh, here we go. 2:95 with over a minute to go. Easy as you like, Jake Douglas.
The thing I love about watching Jake Douglas snatch is he's got such big shoulders, but man, does he look good overhead.
He has the mobility I dream of, and the muscles as well. Here we go. This is for a worldwide test record. 310 pounds. $141 kilos That crowd is going bananas here. Jake settling himself. This crowd is going to go off if he nails this. Oh, yes! The test records keep dropping here like flies in the Oceania region. And Jake Douglas jumps into first with another 100 points. Oh, how do you settle yourself after that?
He had more in the tank.
He did. Oh, crazy. You're going to make a statement. Make it on a Saturday night, Pat Rafter Arena. Talk me through this, Pip.
Wow. Just his bottom position so fast into the bottom. His lockout overhead, just stable as anything. Once that bar's over his head, nothing's going to stop him.
Individual test number 5 coming up now. We've got to sort of settle down a little bit.
8 snatches at 185 pounds for the men into an 800-meter run, 6-minute cap.
That 6 minutes went past really quick. This 6 minutes is going to go past even quicker, considering they're only getting just over the halfway point and trying to chase down Jeff Adler's 3 minutes flat.
Now we just saw Jake Douglas lift monster weight, grabbing himself 100 points, but there's some other guys out here that are very fast runners.
We know the barbell cycle from Jake Douglas is going to be quick, considering it's about just over half of what that, sorry, just under half of what that was he just lifted. So this should be pretty easy for him to cycle 8 reps.
But can he sprint 800 meters?
I've been keeping up on socials. He's done a lot of running. Test 5 underway, 8 reps. Who's got it? Jake Douglas looks good, and he's going to be the first up. Now, recipes for success thanks to RP Strength.
Smooth and fast snatches and sprint.
Guess what? Jake Douglas's 310 pounds just then ties him for the 4th heaviest snatch of all time in the CrossFit Games season. That's including the entire year. 4th best ever and plenty more in the tank.
Unbelievable.
Take $10 off your first order. Use the discount code TORIAN10. T's and C's apply. Scan the QR code and get your TWL bargain today. Can you imagine the roar of this crowd once Jake Douglas's judge's hand goes in the air?
All the athletes have said it, Jeremy. There is nothing like a Torian Pro crowd.
Jake Douglas, he is 40 points back from Jay Crouch. He is 6 points ahead of Will Carney, who is 2 points ahead of Bailey Martin. Results from the previous test important, but this one now is going to set these athletes up for success, day 3. Jay looking really good center of screen, but eyes, all eyes, you can't miss him either, are on Jake Douglas. Pete Ellis is moving past in lane 1. He's on the far left of screen. He is really hammering down Pete Ellis. He's done a James Ewbury. Wow, Pete Ellis is really going for it. And it seems like it's early as well. 20 seconds to Jeff Adler's record of 3 minutes. Jay Crouch, we knew he was moving quick. Will Carney's in contention, as is Zach Thomas. Pete Ellis is sprinting. Wow, Jay Crouch. It looks like it's 3:04 as well. Will Carney, Pete Ellis, Zach Thomas, Bailey Martin, a great result. Riley Smith getting the jump on Jake Douglas. Zane Shalabert-Healy will be our last. Jake Crouch, official time, 3:06. Oh, we have a sit down. What a great event the Torian Pro has put on. There is pink everywhere. The crowd is just electric. They've come to see something amazing, and they've seen it. Jake Douglas in test number 4, Jake Crouch in test 5.
And we have fire.
And we have fire. Take a leaf out of Tom Hanks's book. And this is exactly why we pack out Pat Rafter Arena every single year. For moments like these that people can take home with them. Jake Douglas is first for clean and jerk worldwide CrossFit Games season. He's now tied for 4th in the snatch. Impressive. Will Carney continues to impress. Is he going to be the one that sneaks into that top 3 tomorrow afternoon?
Will Carney just keeps doing what he needs to do. Sneaking in there on that bubble.
Jake Douglas and Jay Crouch. See how those times pan out on the other 4 heats. And what a magnificent lift Jake Douglas brought the absolute house down. Let's head down to Caleb Banfield.
Peeling the athletes off the ground, and I pretty much had to peel Will off the ground to force him into an interview. So I don't know how many words you've got for us, Will, but you went into a really dark place, I'm guessing, in that last test. Tell us what got you through that.
I don't really know. I just really want to. I just really want to go to the CrossFit Games. So.
I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah. I just think that. Well, I just trying to give my best effort on each workout, and hopefully the results come.
And what's it like training with Shane and Tia?
Well, I do know Shane actually messaged me before this event and just told me that I had to sell myself a little bit. So if you watched, I hope I did. Hope he thinks I did. But
I think we all think you did.
But honestly, it's amazing. No, I sort of count my blessings with all of the stuff that I've been given from them and the people I meet every day. So I'm always very grateful for it.
Well, great job, Will. We're so glad to see you doing so well in that test. And Jay, defending champion. How does that feel coming into an event like the Torian Pro, knowing that you've got, you know, a year behind you of winning?
Yeah. No, it's super special, and it's like just confidence that I try to bring into this year for sure. I feel the pressure a little bit, and as like everyone, I'm nervous for every event. So no, I just try to carry the confidence, and momentum for me is a big one.
And with an event like we've just had then, there were so many different elements. You had lifting, you had running. How did you break it up to make sure you got the most out of each part?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like the max snatch was a bit of damage control for me. I hit sort of a number that I wanted, so I was happy with that. And yeah, honestly, I think the hardest part was like running to the runner. Once I was on the runner, I was pretty happy. So overall, I was happy to get the win on that second part and to make up for the first part.
Well done, boys. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Galen. We started test 4 with the heavy snatch, and we moved on, but some great lifting from the boys.
Oh, I think great is an understatement. Jake Douglas, just so impressive. And I want to see what more he can do because he looked like he had so much more in the tank. That 310 pounds was easy.
Jake getting to the assault runner first, but we know how good and consistent Jake Crouch is. Pete still sold his soul as well. Jake just cruises over the line. Will Carney, Pete Ellis crawling over the line. Test 4 and 5 in the books, and our results after heat 4, 3:06. So very competitive times across all heats. In fact, James Newbury put a 3:04 up as well, so shakeout's going to be very interesting. Will Carney beating Pete Ellis by milliseconds. That's going to be great for Will Carney as well.
Yeah, Will Carney, as he said, he wants to go to the CrossFit Games.
Okay, what do you want for Christmas? I want to go to the CrossFit Games. Well, you've got to work hard for it. Really getting into it now. We'll probably turn the lights off in a sec. Let's get to our standings now. After 4 tests for the men, the shakedown's going to be awesome. We've got a Mexican wave going on here with people's phones. Jake Crouch, 368 points. How good is he? Will Carney now into second with a little bit of a buffer back to Bailey Barton, who jumps into third. Zach Thomas level pegging with Jake Douglas. So this last day of competition coming up is going to be awesome. Pete Ellis still hanging around as well, only 4 points back and 10 points back to Riley Smith. Oh, it's going to be mad tomorrow.
You know what I've been loving about this weekend so far is how many big results we've been seeing in the early heats of our individuals. It's been giving our top heats something to chase.
Absolutely loved it. The tests that Adrian Bosman has put out haven't just suited the top heat like they normally have. There's people jumping up and going, oi, don't forget about me, which is causing a big jumble on the leaderboard. And that tightness of the leaderboard builds a stronger community, better competitive pack to go to the CrossFit Games each year. Can only be a good thing.
That's right, and it makes it very entertaining for everybody watching from home and in the crowd.
We are not too far away from the last 4 heats of day 2. The ladies will hit the competition floor. And please try and replicate what just happened. Oh. That was awesome.
Look, these females have not been disappointing over the last 2 days.
Julia Hannaford, the girl from Tamworth. Are you surprised? I am not.
I love it.
This is individual test number 4.
800-meter run, max snatch weight in the time remaining. They have a 6-minute cap. And we have cowboy hats out there now.
And fire.
Oh, she took it off. I wanted to see her snatch in the cowboy hat.
You probably knock it off if you're getting the bar close enough. Our heat list for heat number 1. As I mentioned earlier, Adrian Geary unfortunately having to withdraw. Julia Hannaford knows her way around a heavy barbell. I'm excited to see what Amber Cohen can do after a great test 3 earlier on today. athletes preloading their barbells once they do get off that assault air runner after the first 800 meters. They'll come back and try and lift as heavy as they can. So the idea is to put as many plates as you can on the bar. And
In layman's terms,
and the bigger the plate, the better.
the more plates, the better, depending on their size, I guess.
And more blues is better. And if we had reds out there, reds are better. Because you can't just put those little plates on there. 160 pounds. Preloaded 72 kilos. Let's talk Commonwealth Games. What are you lifting on a snatch?
It depends what weight class you're in.
I'm talking about your weight class.
High 90s.
High 90s. So 72, that's a good steady one to hit. If you're going to probably hit 90, you'd probably start off, if you were doing this test, would you hit around a 72, 75?
I'd probably start in the 80s. Something around
So about 176-ish.
an 85% effort just to get a score on the board. Make sure you don't get a donut or a zero.
Plenty of Jordan there as well. Big shout out to little son Ethan over in Western Australia. Should be going to bed soon. Julia Hannaford, look at the focus. The first of our 4 heats of the individual females underway. She's swapped shoes and swapped socks again. And our recipes for success, all thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board. Now these athletes would have pre-warmed up out the back some heavy lifts. They're not just getting off that runner and picking up heavy weight for the first time today. Probably want to warm up to about an 85%, maybe more depending on the athlete. Some athletes thrive off lifting with a high heart rate. Others need a bit more composure.
$800 meters. We see it at the Olympic Games, we see it at the Commonwealth Games. Those joining overseas who don't know what I'm talking about in regards to Commonwealth Games, very similar to the Olympic Games in comparable events. Just Commonwealth countries involved. That happens the alternate years, 2 years to the Olympic Games that rotate every 4 years. And 800 meters is one of those distances that's just nasty.
It is nasty. It takes a special kind of athlete to be an 800-meter sprinter.
Not just physical ability, but mental ability as well, because that is a dark place you need to go to if you're going to go a super fast time.
Oh, it's just pain from start to finish. None of these ladies would be sprinting this first 800 meters though. Just running at a steady pace to get it done with enough time left on the clock to get some decent weight on their bar.
Just to give you a little bit of reference, our world records for 800 meters, Jamila Krashalova, back in 1983, did a 1 minute 53 800 meters. Athletes on the floor at the moment, the males are hitting about 3 minutes 30. The male record, David Rashida at 1 minute 40 for 800 meters. That was in 2012.
Yeah, that's why we're CrossFitters, not 800 meter sprinters.
When you take away the specialist versus generalist, we want to be a generalist. We don't want to specialize in one particular thing. Hey, we want to be good at running. We want to be good at heavy barbell lifting. We want to be good at the gymnastics elements as well. So let's wrap everything up in a nice little package, as opposed to having some sort of sway either way, if it's running or if it's weightlifting or it's gymnastics.
It's one thing I love about how the tests have evolved over the last few years. In the early days, we saw a lot of specialists. Now, you need to be good at everything if you want to succeed, and we see that with our fittest on earth. Tia Claire Toomey, she can lift a heavy barbell, she can also run and swim fast.
And everything else. The list is growing. She's creating the list. Jaylee Mancy, 145. It's about 66 kilos conversion. Talia Jordan heads back for her first lift, starting at 160, and McCowan at 155. Now we talk about speed under the bar. Amber a little bit slower, probably steadying herself a little bit. Hannaford, 185, 84 kilos.
That is a solid lift, and as you said, speed under the bar. She wasted no time getting under it, fast elbows over her head.
Talia just not lifting that bar high enough to get underneath.
That's right, you do have to pull the bar high enough to be able to get under it fast and have your timing right between the two. That's where we get our hip speed from and hip extension reference.
Talia Jordan going again, better this time.
Those were some faster hips.
Jaylee Mancy at 165. 75 kilos, here's 190 now. Stepping back from the bar and stepping in. 86 and a half kilos. Julia Hannaford. Oh, wow.
And it's easy.
And McCowan now at 175. Just over 10 seconds. This is about 80 kilos. Needs to get under that bar quick.
Just losing it out in front.
Talia Jordan sneaking in. Amanda McCoy not successful with hers either, coming out the front. You mentioned, talk to me about coming out the front.
Coming out in front.
We'll get back to that. Let's get into individual test number 5. Athletes don't want to put this out in front either.
Individual test 5, 8 snatches at 125 pounds for the females into an 800-meter sprint. 6-minute time cap.
So thinking about putting that barbell in the right spot and you put it out in front, there's probably a very good chance it's coming down and not staying where you put it.
That's right, losing the bar in front usually happens because you've either tried to get under it too early before you've pulled it high enough.
Oh, wow. Again, no words.
I can't talk seriously about things while that's happening. That's outstanding.
She's having the best time. Amanda McCoy a little bit more reserved. Amanda, where's your cowboy hat? I'm Jaylee Mancy. Different experience this year. The contention for CrossFit Games spot in the team last year, this year individual. Test number 5. It's heat 1. We've got 3 more heats to come. Tell you what, the crowd hasn't gone anywhere either. Fast cycle rate for the far 8. Fast. Power snatches.
Amber Cohen in lane 5. That was some fast barbell cycling.
125 pounds, 57 kilos, and a recipe for success thanks to RP strength.
Smooth and fast snatches and sprint.
And they're not sprinting yet. They're not doing a James Newbury or Pete Ellis, but they will get there. Julie Hannaford, she's coming to screen in a second on the left. Looks like she's motoring along quite well. All chasing down the time of 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Performed by Sydney Wells last week at the North American East semi-final. Week 1 of semi-final competition. Week 3 next week sees Europe and Asia going at it. And this week it is North American West, Oceania, and the South American competition down there in Copa Sur. Talk about balancing programming. We've got the 3 components of our programming, which is weightlifting, gymnastics, and monostructural. This rolls into the monostructural element. We've just had some weightlifting. Gymnastics is coming for the individuals tomorrow in test 6. How do you make sure you get through each of the components and make sure you get your balance right to make sure you're not only attacking your weaknesses but maintaining your strengths?
Well, that is the secret sauce, isn't it, I guess, of the sport, is how do you become so well-rounded at all of them? And that is the fun part of training CrossFit, is not being a specialist and training all of the things.
Hannaford's still looking good. Far left in the pink top, black pants. And without the cowboy hat. She'll put that on later. Amber Cohen in the center. The pink headband on. Can she maintain? Julia has looked great since she hit the assault runner. 3:09, the test record, Sydney Wells. Sydney Wells coming from a track and field background and a very proficient sprinter. And no surprise to see her do a time like that. Julia Hannaford. It's got to give you a boost, surely.
Oh, when that crowd screams, you are sprinting, and you are sprinting fast.
Amanda McCry, Talia Jordan, they're in touch. But it's going to be Julia Hannaford to get off first and sprint to that finish line. Here she goes. The girl from Tamworth gets just ahead of Amanda McCay. Talia Jordan getting in less than a second, I reckon, between Julia Hannaford and Amanda McCay. Jaylee Mancy in under 4 minutes. Amber Cohen not too far away now. Crowd will really get behind Amber Cohen. Crossfit facilitates. Gets home. Well under time cap as well. Test record after heat 1. Still intact from Sydney Wells. Cowgirl, she's ready to party. She can go put her feet up now. Test 4 and 5 are done. Another one of our mums, Jaylee Mancy, on the floor. We head back to test number 4.
Test number 4 for the females in heat 1. Julia Hannaford, wow. I'm so impressed with her. She came out here, snatched 190 pounds like it was nothing, but then she back assault runner and did not slow down. She put her money where her mouth was with that 190-pound snatch, and then she showed she can sprint as well.
Characters of the Oceania region. Julie Hannaford, one of those 3:38s. The Oceania time to beat. And Mackay, so second and a bit. Talia Jordan in third. Adrian Geary. If you're just joining us, unfortunately withdrew from competition earlier this morning. Wish her all the best. So Pip, heat one's done. Give me your expectation on what's happening in the 3 heats to follow. And who have you got your eye on?
Oh. Oh, how long have you got?
All night, in fact.
Well, as we said before with the men, the thing about this weekend, with not just the men, the females as well, is that these athletes in these early heats are coming out and doing some amazing things, and they're just raising that bar for our top heat and just going, hey, we got it here too.
I'm a bit concerned, Pip. I'm just seeing a beanie in the crowd. I don't think it's that cold.
I do.
But we have got some heavy hitters coming up in the likes of Laura Clifton. Annika Roberts, happy to throw some weight around as well. Olivia Smoothie's in that list. Ellie Turner. Grace Walton, some big names about to hit the floor, which we welcome heat number 2. And it is individual test number 4.
800-meter run and max snatch weight in the time remaining. Time cap is 6 minutes. 190 pounds from the previous heat is the max weight to beat Julia Hannaford, the cowgirl.
Now, heat list for heat number 2. Keep your eyes on Laura Clifton, number 2. Remember, she's done all that running. Tammy Mitchell goes, you need to run every single day from January 1. Let's see how much improvement she's made on her running.
Laura Clifton is the sort of lifter as well, where a run really isn't going to affect too much how much weight she's going to shift.
Athletes starting to get ready.
Laura Clifton's got preloaded 165 pounds on the bar.
Very happy to be here. So we go back to 2021. Laura Clifton in the clean and jerk ladder here, 110 kilos. £242 for a clean and jerk. See what we can do with a snatch. Erica Plasti. Gregory on screen before, coming all the way from Vancouver. Underway for test number 4. The two-parter, test 4 and 5 within a 14-minute window, 6 minutes apiece, and a 2-minute break in between, and our recipes for success, all thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board. Most of the athletes have been doing a really good job of getting that first solid lift on the board. Just getting a few of the nerves out of the way. And then loading it up and having a good crack at it.
Laura Clifton, Games qualifier 2021. So a big field of athletes, no Tia, no Cara. We still have 5 past CrossFit Games qualifiers in our region. And for only 3 spots, people are going to miss out. Laura doing very well. Test 3, Linda. This is where she's got a chance to make a move. When we refer to Saturday, it's always moving day. And this year is a little bit different. Normally it's 100 points per test every single day, and you've normally got 2. This time we've got 3 in the middle. Saturday, 300 points. That could cause a massive shift.
Yeah, it could. And Laura Clifton, if she wants to move herself into that top heat for the final day of competition, then this test is where she's going to do it.
Rachel Totamua, Falmoina, Erica Plasti from CrossFit Wollgoolga, Annika Roberts, Glenister, Daisy McDonald, Chloe Gregory, Laura Clifton, and finally Alice Scott. Alice, youngest qualifier coming into Victorian Pro in the female division. Baby at 18. Out of the lot, Chloe Gregory and Daisy McDonald, lanes 3 and 4, looking very good, comfortable, nice and upright. 2 of our tallest athletes as well. Daisy getting a bit of a taste of team competition last year with Wolfton CrossFit, all the way down in Mornington Peninsula. You're looking at Australia, they're all the way down at the bottom, very close to our compatriots. Tasmania over body of water down there. And Laura Clifton, one of the first hands in the air. How about that? Something about practicing stuff and getting better at it.
Seems to work.
Question will be, what weight is going to go over her head?
Laura Clifton and Erica Plasti were off at the same time. Laura Clifton starting with 165 pounds.
Laura, that one nearly popped out the front. She managed to hold onto it.
75 kilos for those metric system users.
Rachel Totamu, Almawina, 145. That's about 66 kilos, touch under. Back to Lannister, 61.5 kilos, 135 pound. That was an easy conversion. 180. Nice, Annika Roberts. That looks almost a little bit too easy for Annika Roberts. Think about the time they've got left. It's only just over a minute.
Oh, Laura Clifton. That looked more comfortable than her first lift. As we were saying earlier, some athletes just get a bit of jitters before they do that first one. Getting that confidence from getting a rep on the board. And Annika Roberts, easy 175 pounds.
And you see why your son Johan is so good at weightlifting. Look what Mum does. Do
Gets
this.
it from Mum. Laura Clifton's just loaded her bar to 195 pounds.
Oh, love to see it.
88.6 kilos.
Talk me through that lift.
Look, she was a bit slow to try and get under it. The elbows just not turning over quick enough.
84 kilos, 185 for Chloe Gregory, just as the buzzer hits. Unsuccessful with that 195, Laura Clifton.
Yeah, she just could not stabilize that bar quick enough to lock the elbows out.
So we move on to individual test number 5.
8 snatches at 125 pounds for the females into an 800-meter run. But more like a sprint from what we've been watching. 6-minute time cap.
Julia Hannaford, previous heat, starts off pretty hot and kept the same pace. Seen some male athletes start relatively conservative and really speed up, like Pete Ellison, James Newbury. What's your strategy going in? Do you just go hot and try and hang on? Problem is, when they get off the assault run-up, they're sitting in one spot, then they've got to actually progress themselves down the floor to the finish line.
I think you just have to go. You have to go and you have to hold on for dear life.
And hope that lactate threshold is at a point where you can still finish the test.
You've got to risk it to get the biscuit, Jeremy.
Biscuit, cookies, donuts. Daisy McDonald. Those youngsters starting CrossFit during the pandemic. What a way to get in, to learn everything there is to know. When you can't do anything, you've got to stay at home. Chloe Gregory. No doubts. All of her team back in Vancouver are watching. Heat 2, about to get things started. This is test 5. Barbell cycle important. Annika Roberts doing it easy. Wow. She may be one of the oldest in the field at 35 alongside Jaylee Mancy. But that is not going to stop her. And recipes for success, all thanks to RP Strength.
Smooth and fast snatches and sprint.
Well, they've done the first bit. Now it's time to do the second bit.
Talking about how you attack this sprint, we saw with the men, a lot of them sprint at the end.
Let's get a thought from the competition floor. Here's Kayla Banfield.
I got more than a thought for you, Jeremy. I got a vibe check down here on the competition floor, and I tell you what, the Torian Pro on a Friday night and a Saturday night is absolutely something else. I reckon if you could bottle this up and sell it, I'd honestly buy it. It's incredible. When those athletes are out there lifting, the flames are throwing, people are yelling from the audience. It's just incredible. And you know what? It's giving me vibes from Carson, California at the tennis stadium. It's that open air, that fresh air, the night feeling. It's just, honestly, it's something else. And if you haven't been here, you have no idea what it's like. But it's incredible.
Now, Kayla, please tell me about Julia Hannaford's vibe and her cowboy hat, please.
Oh my goodness, she was bringing it in the last heat. She was dancing all around the floor, and you know what she reminded me of? Of Tia Claire Toomey bringing the YMCA. Do you remember that?
Oh, the memes, they're so good. Vibes are going to continue all night here at Pat Rafter Arena. Says heat 2. We've got 2 more heats to go of the individual female competition for today. 2 more tests tomorrow. Then we're going to find out exactly who's headed to Madison, Wisconsin in August later this year to represent the Oceania region. And the female competition, Pip, I'm sure you will agree, is wide open. And potentially some newcomers punching their first ticket.
Day 3 of the female competition is going to be the best we have seen in years.
And not to say the performances from Cara and Tia weren't special, they are just so dominant. 2023, it is a whole new field, and it's just so tight.
And that's why it's so exciting, is we just don't know who's going to do it this year. There's so much talent.
Can Laura Clifton back up her first run? Daisy McDonald. And now Chloe Gregory, your first 2 athletes. And Laura Clifton, the third. Erica Palasti, lane number 7, is in there as well. Daisy McDonald will do it. Oh, the legs are heavy. And a heat win from Wolfden's Daisy McDonald, Erica Palasti, Chloe Gregory. Tied over the line, Laura Clifton in 4. Alice Scott collapsing over the line. It's good that it's not any further than how far it is. Rachel To'omua Famuina. McGlenister is in. And Annika Roberts to finish things off for heat number 2. Great race between Daisy McDonald and Chloe Gregory. 2 of the runners we earmarked early in test 4, probably the best form.
Yeah, that's right. It really did come down to that sprint at the end. Laura Clifton and Annika Roberts off that 8 snatch barbell set really quick, but we started out with some heavy lifting in test 4. Annika Roberts making easy work of 165 pounds. She's been dominant each year on a barbell. These ladies just keep raising the bar with these weights on.
Literally.
185 pounds for Laura Clifton. On to test number 5. Laura and Annika off their snatches first and onto the assault runner. But it was Daisy McDonald off first, taking a heat win.
And 2 years post-knee surgery as well. Obviously, he's been doing her rehab well. There's our heat 2 results. Daisy in 3:46. Chloe Gregory just getting ahead of Erica Palasti. I knew that was tight as well. 3:52 for both of them. And Laura Clifton, 3:55. Respectable for her. And you can tell she has been working on her running. So coming Hannah Mitchell, you know what you're talking about. Now weather getting a little bit cooler, Pip. The lights have gone down at Rafter Arena. Standings after 3 tests for the ladies competition. Emily DeRoy in the lead with a great test, number 3, 260 points. Caitlin Van Zyl and Jamie Simmons battling it out for second. Back to Ellie Turner in fourth position, and Maddie Sturton, Grace Walton battling it out there for fifth and sixth. Tight battle, and you mentioned, Pip, the most exciting female competition we've seen in a long time.
That's right, and obviously missing two big names, but that has left it wide open for some new talent and some old talent. We have some very exciting female athletes on the floor right now. One in particular I cannot wait to watch on these tests.
Individual test number 4 is the first of our tests for this evening.
800-meter run, max snatch weight in time remaining. They have a 6-minute cap. Now that one athlete I cannot wait to watch on this test and the next is Emily DeRoy.
Emily DeRoy, the pressure is on. We'll get to Emily in just a sec as our leader coming in. 260 points. Great effort from her. Don't look any further than lane number 1, Olivia Smoothie. Her prior name was Liv Kelly, and yes, she is still a weightlifter, and she's got a PR snatch of 90 kilos, which is 198 pounds. And if she can pull something like that off the floor tonight, this crowd's going to keep getting louder. Bryony Chalice in the field as well, another very good lifter. There's Olivia Smoothie there. Don't Google anything to do with Olivia Smoothie because you won't find much. Because she's just got married and changed her name.
Well, with her previous name, Olivia Kelly, she was Australian representative in weightlifting.
Knows a thing or two about a barbell. I think she's loving this outside lane. She can just sneak along and do what she does. The second last heat of this evening. Before we break, we'll find out who is going to lead us into day 3 of competition at the Torian Pro. And recipes for success, all thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board. Important for these athletes to not spend too much time on this 800-meter run. Allow themselves enough time to get the biggest snatch in that they can. We have some impressive preloaded weights on the floor, Jeremy.
I'm liking exactly what Olivia Smoothie has put on the bar because there's a blue plate and a green plate. As I said before, the more blue plates you put on, the better. Olivia Smoothie on the far left of the screen now. Definitely one to watch in Heat 3. We talk about trying to stay calm, consistent on your running. And a lot of runners that I do know talk about their head position and how important that head position is. Bryony Chalice, lane 3, that head not moving much at all.
Yeah, Bryony Chalice looking very relaxed. I mean, when you're running, you don't want too much unnecessary movement, burning up your energy.
Bryony going to the CrossFit Games last year with Team EXF. Christy Hollard Moses Patello and Henry Carlisle. And again, choosing to forego team competition. I want to have a crack at individual. Maddie Schelling in the center of screen as well in the black and pink. Part of CrossFit Selwyn. She's on the left of screen now, next to Danny Ford. Both New Zealanders. Crowd's getting a little bit more vocal. It's interesting athletes' journeys as they go along, and they're choosing to go individual, and then they go into team later. Some athletes are going team, they're coming back to individual, which we don't see too often.
We don't see it too often. We usually see it the other way around, individual first and then onto a team. But why not? If you can, why not have a go at both?
Olivia Smoothie, Ellie Hutchins, Gemma Hope, Paddy Brock, your first four. 5 and 6 now is Danny Ford, Maddie Schelling, and now Bronny Chalice. Now, Olivia Smoothie giving herself more time on this barbell, and we know she loves it. 175 to start things off. Just under 80 kilos. Ellie Hutchins with a 150. About 68 kilos. Oh wow, power snatch, great.
Wasting no time getting a score on the board. Olivia Smoothie just missing her first attempt, a little bit too far out in front. Just not getting her head through. The second one was better, it was faster under the bar.
Gemma Hoke successful at 170. You've got to think, you're on a platform, you're doing 3 lifts as a weightlifter, you're not running 800 meters before it.
No, you're not, and you have a lot of time in between as well. These ladies don't have much time left on the clock at all.
So probably something that Olivia Smoothie is going to benefit from short time frames, because once you get on that platform, that clock is ticking.
Emily Atten, 175 pounds for her first attempt to fail back there.
Jump to 86 kilos at 190. Oh, she's found a groove now.
Maybe just a little bit of complacency as a weightlifter on an easy weight for her.
No way. I don't believe it for a second. I reckon I could do that easy. Oh, maybe not.
Whoops.
Let's try that again. Ellie Hutchins at 170 now.
Jeremy,
77 kilos.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I can see Olivia Smoothie. She's talking to possibly a coach or maybe someone there in the crowd who's helping her choose her weights. And honestly, I feel for the athletes. They're not only having to choose weights, but probably do some conversions in their head as well from pounds to kilos, because we're so used to lifting in kilos here in Australia.
Yeah, the pounds are confusing, especially if you're a weightlifter, but Olivia Smoothie, 205 pounds.
She's only got 10 seconds to get it done. Just rushed it a little bit, and I think she knew exactly how much time she didn't have, and I think maybe just a little bit too quick off the floor. It seemed like she buckled a little underneath.
Just rushed that pull a fraction too early, but in CrossFit we don't have the time.
Great competitor though, I will say. You could see the frustration in her face, but it immediately turned to a smile. Just gratitude probably for being out here.
Individual test number 5 coming up soon.
8 snatches. Females have 125 pounds on the bar into an 800-meter run. Time cap is 6 minutes. Now we see the same movement, but a change of pace.
Just getting ready. It's funny, you've been on the CrossFit Games stage twice in 2 years as team competition. The nerves are still there. I don't think they ever go away.
The nerves never leave, even when you're watching. I've been nervous all weekend.
Things ramping up just a little bit quicker now for test number 5. Lily Hutchins just behind Olivia Smoothie. 9th place finish last year at the Torium Pro. Olivia Smoothie in 13th. Always want to try and improve on the position of the previous year. And now Smoothie, Hoke, Emily Atten going at it. Ellie Hutchins, Bryony Chalice, Katie Brock. Let's get down to Kayla Banfield.
Jeremy, Olivia Smoothie has a fire in her eyes. The way that she jumped onto that air runner, she is chasing something and she looks absolutely determined to get to that finish line.
Fast barbell cycle, not something you often see from weightlifters, and it's not something they really practice.
CrossFit weightlifters, you do. You know, we do big sets in weightlifting, but they're not touch and go like that. Olivia Smoothie, she is no stranger to a barbell. I imagine coming into these 2 tests, she thought, yeah, these are mine.
Well, we always know there's going to be a weighted element coming into an event like a semi-final. Happens at the CrossFit Games, it happens at semi-final, happens at quarterfinals. Not so much in the Open, which is where this all started. February 16, to find the fittest man, woman and team on the planets. We'll find that out in the first week of August in Madison, Wisconsin later this year. Olivia Smoothie currently tied with Julia Hannaford for 190 pounds. Tiebreaker is that test 5 time. So we'll keep an eye on that clock, 3:38. Is Olivia Smoothie's time to beat if she's going to jump over the top of Julia Hannaford. 2.5 down. Olivia Smoothie was off in 3:35. This one's going to be a little bit quicker. Gemma Hoke in the purple and black. 3 in from the far right. Really starting to motor.
Gemma Hoke starting to pump the arms.
Ramp up we are. Danny Ford. She's out in front on her own, her judge's hand in the air. Gemma Hope now, but it is going to be Danny Ford off first. 3:23.45. What a result. Danny Ford. And I say, pick your battles, and she did. Gemma Hope with the lead legs. The lactate threshold is there. Ellie Hutchins in, Maddie Schelling in. Katie Brock making up some time on the assault runner. Olivia Olivia Smoothie will not get that tie-break time of Julia Hannaford, so Julia Hannaford will move ahead. Bryony Chalice done. Emily Atten. Banksy finishing up. Get a bigger smile on your face.
Now, Danielle Ford told us earlier she hasn't touched a barbell in 3 months.
Well, she has now. She's been touching fishing rods. She's been very busy. Lots of floods over in New Zealand recently. She's a firefighter, so she's been doing very, very good work over there in New Zealand, cleaning things up. We'll go back to test number 4.
Test 4 for heat 3 of the women. Olivia Smoothie, the weightlifter who does some fitness as well. Impressive lifting, 190 pounds, no problem at all. Also no problem on the 8 touch and go snatches. She was first onto the assault runner, but it was firefighter Danielle Ford.
Danny been sitting up next to us all weekend, and no happier person Danielle Ford right now. 3:28.03. Gemma Hope, Ellie Hutchins rounding out the top 3 in heat number 3. We are nearly at the end of day 2 of competition here at the Torium Pro. So not just about lifting that barbell in test 4, lifting it fast in test 5 and then running fast. And so picturesque, Pat Raft Arena. They normally got tennis games going on here, and it is the perfect arena to put on a show like we are seeing this weekend, and we see every year. Our standings after 3 events. Emily DeRoy, 260 points. Anna Van Ziel and Jamie Simmons equals 2nd. Ellie Turner back in 4th. Not too many points in that either between her and Maddie Sturt. Grace Walton. Bit of a jump back to Lakin McCloof and Gemma Hoke. Gemma Hoke with a fairly decent result then. Let's see what is going to happen in heat number 4. We're finding out in a few seconds' time. Saturday here, Torium Pro, we prank the Pro Pink for Hannah Clark. One of our competitors here a couple of years back. The VIP area. We might go and set up over there, Pip. Looks like a lot of fun.
I want what they're having.
As we welcome our heat 4 athletes onto the floor. This is individual test number 4 and our final heat of the day.
800-meter run and max snatch weight in the time remaining. 6-minute time cap. Now, we mentioned her earlier, Emily DeRoy.
And she is sitting down there in lane number 6. Be a great battle with her and Grace Walton for test number 4. Very proficient in lifting. Ellie Turner's going to lift okay as well. And point spread. 200 points up for grabs. A lot of 165s preset, Pip. 155s.
It was the top heat, bit of pressure. We want to get a score on the board. We saw Laura Clifton start at 165.
Laura Clifton's currently in third in 185. Olivia Smoothie and Julia Hannaford both at 190. That's it. It's a party out there. It's a party up here. It's a party in the VIP area as well. Hasn't Grace Walton grown in confidence from last year?
I'm excited to see what she can do on this test.
We had a good chat to her coach, Costa Illich, earlier. He gave us a few little nuggets of info. See exactly how Test 4 and 5 are going to roll out. Underway, and that laughing in the background you heard was actually Danielle Ford. She's ecstatic with another heat victory. As Heat 4 gets underway, and the recipes for success all thanks to RP Strength.
Watch your clock and get a good lift on the board.
Georgia Pryor, quieter than she was last year. Georgia finishing in 10th place last year, very respectable. Take $10 off your first order. Use the discount code Torian10. T&Cs apply. Scan the QR code and grab TWL bargain right now. We'll talk about pressure and who can eat it up. Number of athletes in the field right now. Jamie Simmons, Caitlin Van Zyl, Maddie Sturt, Ellie Turner. All previous CrossFit Games qualifiers. Tell me about the pressure going from semi-final regional level and how much it ramps up when you get to the States and you're up against the best in the world.
Look, everyone handles it differently. Some people can get really intimidated by it, others thrive off it. We have seen athletes from Australia thrive off it and obviously do very well. But in a test like this, you really cannot control what others are doing because you can't control how much they can lift. All you can do is put your best effort forward and have a go at what you can lift. There's no point worrying about what others can do because you're just not in control of it on a lifting test.
Two and a half down. Danielle Perrin, 210 pounds, 95 kilos. That's not a bad weight to hit. What the girls are chasing right now. Was the North American East semi-final last week. Jamie Simmons, Caitlin Van Zyl, no surprise, and Maddie Sturt, your first three. But they don't really need to rush this first one. It's the second one that's the important one in Test 5 coming up pretty soon.
That's right. Traditionally, Maddie Sturt, Jamie Simmons. Not the biggest snatches out there, but they can run and cycle a barbell, which we'll see in the next test. But for now, a very easy 135 for Maddie Sturt, getting a score on the board.
And that's another advantage. She's been to the CrossFit Games 4 times. She's used to this kilo to pound conversion under pressure. Some athletes not ready, not used to that. Jamie Simmons, a good lift. Ellie Turner went big. Caitlin Banzil with a 165. Wayne McClue for the 130.
Now Grace Walton has her bar loaded to 175. Wow.
80 kilos or thereabouts, 165, Emily DeRoy. It's funny, athletes doing the snatch, they get to the bottom position and you know straight away, because they've got a smile on their face, they're going to stand it up. Ellie Turner again.
Jamie Simmons, 175 pounds for her. Not too shabby off the back of some shoulder surgery.
Caitlin Menziel, done. 45 left on the clock. DeRoy successful in the background.
Now also in the background, Grace Walton successfully lifted 185.
180 for Ellie Turner. Very wide with her grip as well. 195, Grace Walton. Last 10 seconds. Oh, too much. There's so much more in there. Oh, Ellie Turner. Equaling Julia Hannaford.
Ellie Turner needed that.
And equaling Olivia Smoothie. Now the important thing about that is the tie-break time is going to be the run. 3:38 is that time to beat. From Julia Hannaford. Started off a little bit conservative on that first one, but wow, Bam Bam had a plan.
It paid off for her. She got rid of those jitters on the first lift, and by the end of that 6-minute cap, her 190 pounds was smoother than her first lift, wide grip.
Won't repeat what she said. There's children watching. As we move on to individual test, number 5.
8 snatches at 125 pounds into an 800-meter run. 6-minute cap. Now this is where we can see the likes of Maddie Sturt, Jamie Simmons do some damage. They might not have the most weight on the bar, but they can cycle a barbell and they can run fast.
Oh, we're getting close. We are less than 6 minutes away from seeing what is going to happen to this leaderboard. Fast run here from Ellie Turner. She's only 12 points back from the lead. She's only 4 points back from Jamie Simmons. Wow, the anticipation. Head Judge Michael Berg holding them. Got to be ready. Grace Walton, fast. Wow. Oh, Caitlin. And she's off Ellie's going to have to run to catch her. Maddie Sturdy's on. And this is going to be a great finish.
Caitlin Van Zyl was dominant on test 1 on the assault runner. But how bad do the other girls want it?
We go back to the final heat of the men and the interview Will Carney. And he says, I really want to go to the CrossFit Games, that's how much. And the recipes for success, well, thanks to RP strength. Smooth on the barbell, and honestly, the sprint, it's all or nothing now. You can't conserve any energy. You can't wait any longer. It's got to go.
No, and you can't be scared to hurt either. You have to be prepared to go to that dark place.
Grace Walton looks like she's doing that. Maddie Sturt. Now we know Maddie's going to do relatively well in test number 6 and 7 tomorrow. The lift wasn't going to be super heavy, but this is where she really needs to break out and get a top 5 spot. Take $10 off your first order. Use the discount code Torian10. T&Cs apply. Scan the QR code and grab a TWL bargain. Two down. Ellie, eyes on the prize. She knows what it takes to get there, and that's an added advantage. Jamie Simmons knows it, Caitlin Van Zyl knows it, and Maddie Sturt knows it.
Now, if we're looking at speed of belts, Caitlin Van Zyl, Emily DeRoy, and Grace Walton moving fast.
The roar of the judge's hand will tell the story here at Pat Rafter Arena. Grace is really going for this. And she needs to. She wants a spot top 3. She needs to empty the tank. Caitlin. And Grace is there as well. Caitlin needs this to bounce back. Sydney Wells' time with 3:09 has passed. Ellie Turner next in line. Then Maddie Sturt, Jamie Simmons, Caitlin Van Zyl. And a 3:18. Grace Walton, here's the result. Ellie Turner is doing herself all the favours. Maddie Sturt as well. Has she minimised the damage? Jamie Simmons is home. Georgia Breyer, Emily DeRoy. That's going to be an interesting result for Emily DeRoy. Lake and McClure really starting to go now. Another of our super mums. Ellie Turner winning the tiebreaker ahead of Smoothie and Hannaford as Lake and McClure closes out day 2 of competition. And Jamie Simmons has really sent that. What do you talk about when you're together? You're equal on the leaderboard, but you're out of breath.
Thank you.
I think it's just we survived that.
What an amazing end to competition here, day 2. Jamie still in contention, sitting in 3rd on 252 points. Caitlin Van Zyl will jump ahead now. Emily DeRoy will jump down. Grace Walton will jump up from 6th into what we don't know. The exciting times are coming up. But Grace Walton, a great lift and a great result on 5. And if you're going to turn the tables and change the narrative of what it looks like on the leaderboard, your destiny's in your own hands.
That's right, tonight was the night to do it.
Let's head down to Kayla on the floor.
Everyone, don't let Ellie Turner forget her drink. She just said it in my ear, don't let me forget my drink. I'll remind you at the end of the interview, but before we get onto that, Ellie, 190, great job. You look like you hit it within about 5 seconds. What was the plan leading into that test?
I knew the numbers that I wanted to hit, and I just had to have confidence that when it came down to it, I would hit it, trust my fitness, and paid off.
And how did you game the run to make sure that you were able to execute the lifts?
The first run is all about, you've got to give yourself enough time, obviously, to lift, but you don't want to get all the juice out your legs. But that second run, it's just literally all you've got, whoever wants it the most.
Great job, Ellie. And Caitlin, yesterday we spoke and you said coming into the individual side, you wanted to test your potential. And where do we feel the potentials are after 2 days of competition?
To be honest, my biggest hole has always been a mental game for me. Obviously, physical comes into play, of course, but I think for me, I've just been trying to run my own race this weekend, and so far it's paid off, so I'm really happy with myself.
And what's the plan for day 3 tomorrow?
Full send!
Woo! Full send! Ellie, don't forget your drink bottle! Well done, ladies. See you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Heading back to test number 4.
Our final heat of ladies did not disappoint. Grace Walt with some lifts that she needed. Caitlin Van Ziel, respectable heavy lifting from her as well. But Grace Walt really needed to propel herself up that leaderboard tonight. But Ellie Turner sneaking in the last 5 seconds, 190 pounds. Then on to test number 5. No surprises that Caitlin Van Ziel literally ran away with that. She loves a run, that lady.
We've got a great cardio base. It's going to pay off. 3:19 for Caitlin Van Ziel. And important results for the makeup of what we're going to see at the end of tomorrow. Grace Walton, she's put herself in a really good position. Ellie Turner will climb up the leaderboard with that 3:30 and third place in that heat. Maddie Sturt, Jamie Simmons are still in contention, but Emily DeRoy, what sort of damage has that done to her chances of making the CrossFit Games as one of our top 3 qualifiers? And what a day, Pip Malone. We have painted the Pro Pink today, and it's just been an incredible atmosphere. And well, what we have seen here on the competition floor in the last couple of hours has really blown my mind on the potential of the athletes here in the Oceania region.
Oh, it has not disappointed at all. We just saw some amazing things from our individual males and females on our snatch tests. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
We break that up with a bit of Polynesian dance. It really got the crowd involved and just representing the Pacific nations. We're not just Australia and New Zealand, we're also the Pacific nations. And that's an important part of the culture down here in the Oceania region.
That's right, it is really important, and I think anyone who was tuning in could see just how passionate we all are down here. It's been a party all day.
The teams competition kicked things off first thing this morning, and we had some pirouette handstands. Lisa Campbell from Torium Black showing us how it's done, but it all came down to that dumbbell snatch.
The dumbbell snatch this morning. Yesterday it was a sandbag, this morning it was the dumbbell snatch. The handstand pirouettes really impressed me across all the athletes. Really no problems at all. But 6'4" Army and Victorian Mayhem are the 2 dominant teams down here this weekend.
They're just showing exactly what they've got and the potential they've got to take. Should they make it to the CrossFit Games tomorrow afternoon? And are we going to break the drought on the podium in the team competition? Victorian Mayhem, Brandon Swan in particular, finding it quite difficult yesterday, but a couple of IV drips in his arm and he is good to go. And he really pushed the boundaries today and showed what a true competitor he is.
He showed all that experience he has. 6'4" Army giving Torian Mayhem the push that they need to keep propelling forwards. I'm excited to see see the fight between those two teams tomorrow, but also the third spot is wide open between a few different teams.
Well, that is the important factor heading into tomorrow. We know our top two teams, and they're probably going to continue their progression up that leaderboard. And it's level pegging with Torian Mayhem and 6-4 Army Endgame, but the important one on the bubble right now, PFC 3076 and Torian Black. How does it unfold tomorrow? Well, that's going to be the interesting thing. It's a fair hike back to 5th place, and CrossFit Concept Crew 260 points, and Jack's Pack East Tamaki rounding out the top 10, coming in as one of our top 5 qualifiers, but dropping down to that 10th spot. They've got some work to do tomorrow, and team competition is going to kick things off for us tomorrow with test number 5. What was your favourite moment of the team competition?
Oh, look, too many, but 6-4 Army and Torian Mayhem going neck and neck in that last test of the day for the teams.
When we had a look at it on the competition floor, it looked pretty confusing. We were probably explaining it not the right way. A lot of bodies moving, a lot of things happening on the competition floor, but they were level pegging for about halfway through, and then Torian Mayhem just started to pull away a little.
They were, and Torian Mayhem coming quite close to that event record, within seconds, I believe, and just showing their experience.
Yeah, about 5 seconds back, and that's an important thing heading into the competition. And let's have a look at the women's competition. An exciting start all the way back this morning, and it was Linda, and certain athletes had a bit of a benefit heading into the dumbbell bench press.
Oh, the fight between Emily DeRoy and Ellie Turner on dumbbell bench Linda was just outstanding to watch. Ellie Turner really doing what she needed to do today on day 2 of competition. But this young lady, Emily DeRoy, 22 years old, she's out here making a statement this weekend, and I am here for it. I love it.
7th last year in the Torian Pro 2022, really showing how it's done in Linda. And then we got to the exciting part of the evening.
That's right, some heavy hitters. Grace Walton, she needed good results in test 4 and 5 tonight. And Caitlin Van Ziel also wanting to stay at the top of that leaderboard. Grace Walton, 185 pounds, like it was no one's business. But Ellie Turner sneaking in 190 pounds in the last 5 seconds. Into test 5. Caitlin Van Ziel.
Well, she showed what she could do yesterday, and she backed it up today. Standings after 5 tests for the women. And what a change we have had. Ellie Turner jumping into the lead. Grace Walton into 2nd. Caitlin Van Ziel into 3rd now. Emily DeRoy, a little bit of damage done, but level with Jamie Simmons, Maddie Sturt, dropping back a little after test number 4. I knew it was going to be interesting with 300 points on the line today. I didn't expect that.
That is jumbled. I haven't been able to keep up with how jumbled this leaderboard has been, or it's only day 2.
Yes, I know. And we've got day 3 tomorrow, and we've got another 200 points with 2 more tests coming up. More of a jumble coming up, I reckon, as well. Men's competition was just as exciting as well.
That it was. This man right here, Jake Douglas, we knew today was going to be his day. Coming into day 2, we got heavy dumbbells, heavy barbells. It's got Jake Douglas's name written all over it.
Something about having a massive frame and shifting weight, isn't there?
There is, but Jay Crouch, Mr. Consistent. He did not disappoint today either. Keeping his spot towards the top of the leaderboard. Jake Douglas, he really needed the results he got today, and he earned them.
Crowd favourites here from Tamworth. CrossFit Snake is his affiliate. Bailey Martin, we knew he was going to lift heavy. Riley really looks good under that barbell as well. Riley Smith having a great weekend.
Well, we can lift down here in the Oceania ring. We've got some really nice lifters, but Jake Douglas with 310 pounds takes the cake for most impressive today.
And tying fourth for the all-time snatch lifted by a CrossFit athlete in any competition. And didn't they send it on test 5?
Oh, the men really did not disappoint on test 5. All emptying that tank and leaving absolutely nothing to chance.
Now standings after 5 tests for the men. Jay Crouch well in control once again. Bailey Martin putting himself in position. Jake Douglas doing the same. And important results for both of them. Will Carney is still in touch. 15 points back. And Riley Smith rounding out. Darcy Hancock, the big mover today into 8th position. And look at that top 10. It is Mr. James Newbury. Look out for day number 3.
James Newbury.
Oh, James Newbury is just exceptional. I've loved watching him today, and I can't wait to see what he can do tomorrow.
He was in his element today. Watching him sprint out the end of test number 5 was one of my highlights of the day.
Well, lapping up exactly what the crowd was giving him as well, and he just responded and gave it everything he had and proved what a true competitor he is in his 10th year of competition. Now, heading into tomorrow, we've got 2 tests coming up. One's going to be gymnastics-based, and the last one is going to be nasty with test 7. We expect James to do well there as well.
Yes, we do. James, traditionally very, very good at bodyweight movements and a rope climb, of course. But I'm really excited to see what some of these athletes on the bubble are going to do. Will Carney in 4th position.
I can't wait for that as well. Let's head to our Rogue Don't Weaken moment of the day. No mistakes here from Jake Douglas.
Look, don't weaken. There's nothing weak about 310 pounds over your head.
Absolutely not. An exciting way for Jake Douglas to finish day 2. Day 3 action coming up here at the Torian Pro. Things are getting really exciting, and we find out in less than 24 hours who our 3 qualifiers are going to be from the Oceania region at the CrossFit Games later this year. On behalf of Caleb Enfield and Pip Malone, I'm Jeremy Austin. Thank you for your company. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Torian Pro, an official 2023 Noble CrossFit Games semifinal, is brought to you by The Wadlife. Discover what you're capable of at thewadlife.com. Noble, the official footwear and apparel brand of CrossFit. Rogue, don't weaken. And Go Wad, the mobility app designed for athletes.